Hey everybody, and welcome to Chris's monthly morning breakfast thoughts. Today for breakfast, I'm having a cookie. And this isn't just any ordinary cookie, this is a cookie of my own creation. It's called the theater floor. Every once in a while, I kind of get these ideas for cookies, and I like to enjoy them. Actually, if my other cookie that I created was one called Frank. If you look on our blog, I've actually posted the recipe, and this recipe is going to be online soon too. So I'm hoping end of July, early August, you guys will have the recipe for the theater floor cookie. I'll tell you, one of the key ingredients, one of the secret ingredients, popcorn. Yeah, there's little bits of popcorn in there. And it's great, it's fun. It's also yummy for breakfast. But while I finish chewing this yummy cookie, why don't we take a look at the news? So why don't we talk about what's going on with the junk food world right now in the news? First of all, it turns out that Smart Food is coming out with a flamin' hot version of Smart Food. It seems like everybody's coming out with these like super hot versions. I mean, Cheetos was obviously the originator of the flamin' hot Cheeto. That sort of sparked the whole thing. But now Smart Food has flamin' hots. I think Burger King is coming out with like a hot nugget. It just seems that everybody wants to have super hot food. To be honest, I'm not a big fan of like really hot food, so it doesn't really interest me that much. And I often find, I'm not sure if the Flamin' Hots really has like a flavor as much as it just burns your mouth. And so I gotta be honest, it's a trend that I'm not really that into, but I guess, you know, people are liking it. If it's the thing, whatever. Speaking of sort of Cheetos and Flamin' Hots, earlier this month, Cheetos came out with a brand of swimwear, which is the weirdest thing ever, but it really took the world by storm. Everybody was sort of talking about it. And I'm just wondering, is anybody out there, did you guys pick up some Cheetos swimwear? It seems a little weird. I don't know, I guess I'd wear a pair of Cheetos, you know, shorts and go swimming in them. So it's weird, I don't know. I don't see the connection between Cheetos and swimming in water, because I know if you put a Cheeto in water, it just kind of gets soggy. So I don't know, it's kind of weird. The other thing that came up in the news was Canada is actually releasing a series of stamps that are based on famous Canadian desserts. Yes, Canada has some pretty cool desserts like the Nanaimo bar and sugar pie and all kinds of stuff like that. It's like really tasty stuff, and so it's kind of neat that the Canadian Post Office has decided to allow you to stamp your mail with your favorite desserts. So that's kind of cool. If anybody wants to send me a letter with a stamp, I'll promise to read it. So that'll be cool with a Canadian dessert stamp. The other thing that was interesting is apparently someone got really sick for drinking too much licorice tea. And it comes to the interesting thing. Licorice is sort of a very unfavorable snack out there. It's very divisive. Some people love it and some people hate it. And so the idea that some people hate it might come to the fact that, you know, it might not, you know, there's some people that are saying licorice might actually be dangerous to eat in large quantities. So maybe this dislike of licorice has something to do with our body saying, you know what, this is dangerous, we shouldn't be eating this. I keep trying to like licorice more and more. I'm better with it. I'm sort of understanding it a little bit more, but I still don't quite get it. But it's good to know. I mean, maybe I shouldn't try and fall in love with licorice because it could actually be harmful to my health. So why don't we take a look at what's going on in Candy Critic this month? So on Candy Critic this month, we got a whole bunch of stuff going up. I started to write a little bit more, and I've come up with 2 articles that sort of came to my mind that I thought you guys might find interesting. The first one is about a trend that I think is only really happening in Asia. I don't think this is something I've seen in North American media at all, but in Asia, this place, particularly Southeastern Asia, this trend is taking over, and it's the salted egg snacks. You go to almost any store, you go to Krispy Kreme, you go to all these places, and salted egg is just sort of taking over. And so I sort of take a look at this sort of trend coming out of Asia that I think is really cool, and it's the salted egg. And I've got an article about that, and definitely worth checking out. And if you can get a salted egg snack, it might be something you can read the article and enjoy a salted egg snack while you're at it. The other thing that I have another article, because I've been updating Candy Critic, and I've been going through all my reviews, I've been doing some editing and some organizing, and I realized that there's some really sort of fundamental treats out there that I have never reviewed. And so I compiled a list of the first 4, which are, I call them 4 candies I have not reviewed and why. And I talk about why these sort of important candies, these classic candies in the candy world, why I haven't reviewed them. And strangely enough, I finished that article. It's going to be going up this month, but I already started a list of another 4 items 4 things I haven't reviewed. And so I think this might be sort of until the new Candy Critic is done. I think this might be a continuing article, a series of articles about treats that I probably should have reviewed but haven't yet. So it's kind of weird. There's really interesting reasons for all of them why I haven't done that. The other thing I'm hoping is later on this month we're going to have an episode of Chris, Why Would You Eat That? I've got a few things in mind to do. I'm not sure what I'm going to do, but I got one I'm focusing on, and we'll see. So hopefully later this month we'll have an episode of Chris, Why Would You Eat That? Also going to have maybe a few interesting other videos sort of popping up here and there. So make sure to follow us on YouTube to check out these extra videos. Also, we'll probably post some of that stuff from YouTube on our social media. So if you follow us on all that, you'll definitely see all that stuff. So, but yeah, why don't we talk a little bit about our social media? So as always, you can follow us on Twitter at Candy Critic, or you can go to candycritic.org and find links to all of our other social media, including Facebook, Tumblr, Instagram, all that. And those videos that we're going to be posting later on, that's going to be the place to see them. But you can also follow us on Patreon, and you can go to patreon.com/candycritic. And on Patreon, you get links to, you get a whole bunch of extra stuff. They've been previewing the new site as I've been working on it. There's a Friday video, which is going to be a little extra special this week, I think, or this month. And you know, all kinds of extra stuff. You get discounts on some merch and previews on some merch, so you get to see it ahead of time. And every once in a while, I just kind of post something random on there. Like, I just might post me shoving the rest of this cookie in my mouth for our patrons exclusively. You're going to see it soon, but thanks for watching this, and you get to watch the conclusion of this if you're on our Patreon. So thanks for watching. Bye.